Hello and welcome to Authentically Aligned by Design. I'm Marissa. I'm a 4/6 emotional projector, and if you don't know what that is, I'm going to start assimilating the entire human design system, different ways that we can view it, how you can pinpoint certain issues. You know, I really go deep with this system. My design sun gate is the 9, which is the energy for detailed work. So I really like it when somebody has something going on with them or with them and a partner, and I can look at their chart and look at their partner's chart, or see where it's coming from, or even find a health issue from looking at the waking chart and the dream chart. It really is a miracle. It's called the science of differentiation. And Ra Uru, the founder, who had actually received this message, he told everyone, he passed away in 2011, but he told everyone, this is an experiment, try it and see if it works. Don't believe me, try it and see. So anything that I'm saying in these videos, do not believe me, test it out and see. And it works on a cellular level. So it's a 7-year cellular process, right? We go in like 7-year cycles. But I've been in the experiment for 4 years now, and let me tell you that I can feel it on a cellular level. Like it's amazing, this system. So what it is it's a synthesis of astrology, the Chinese I Ching, the Hindu Brahman chakra system, epigenetics, biology, quantum physics. And what really goes on is, at the time of your birth, this is how your birth chart is calculated. The red side, which is your body, it's your physiology. On that side, that is imprinted 88 days before you're born. And that comes from your design crystal. We have a design crystal in our ajna. We have a personality crystal. It's not even in our body, it's over our head. It's not even in our body. And we have a magnetic monopole, and our magnetic monopole is in our sternum. So the magnetic monopole holds us together in the illusion of our separateness, because we are all one thing. We are all one form, including the earth and any material. It's the form principle. A lot of things people get wrong in human design is they're just looking at it like the astrological impact and the personality traits and things like that. But it is also related to the physiology. Like I just said, anything on the red side is your body. It's your unconscious. And yes, your body is your unconscious. And I definitely know that the body keeps the score from personal experiences and healing through grief, trauma, addiction, and things like that. Body definitely keeps the score. And so the body is very important because that is your life. And now the personality side, on the black side, that is your personality. It's your mind. It's who you think you are. And the purpose is to get the mind out of the way and to be comfortable in your body no matter what is going on. So at this point in time, I'm not in the greatest position in my life, like as far as work or, seen from the outside world, but people don't see what's going on the inside, how much change is happening on the inside, how much growth and awareness and cognitive potential comes from doing this inner work. I really think human design is like the ultimate shadow work. It shows you all of your shadows, your potential health vulnerabilities. I've even been able to map out people's spiritual psychosis, like when they're hearing voices or things like that, and we can see what the trigger is in their chart and what message they are supposed to be receiving, because most people live in what we call transference, because we are unaware of this knowledge. And we can kind of, look back and see what the message was supposed to be in that case. Now, this is all like deeper layer stuff that I really love to go into the deeper layers of things, but I want to really I'm gonna have to make a series of like the different centers and things like that. But the way I like to do human design is I like to see how a chart, it doesn't, you have to know each of your activations. You have to know what they're about. However, they do not work alone. The whole thing is a holistic design. Your whole design works together. So that one part, say I have gate 10 and somebody else has gate 10, it's not like we're the same just because we have gate 10. There are 6 lines under each gate and 6 tones and 6 colors and 5 bases, plus whatever planet is imprinting that activation. So there are no two charts are alike. Everybody is very unique and different. It's the science of differentiation. It's about coming into your uniqueness and having the mind out of the way, living life with the least resistance, knowing what's your energy and what's not. What are your boundaries of your energy? Are you pushing too much? Are you trying to impress people? Are you being not self by doing all of the things that you would do in the centers that you're open? Like, for example, I have a open sacral center. Obviously, I'm a projector. So I, working 40 hours a week and trying to prove myself is not really, that's a not self theme, right? So, projectors, we're here to guide and use our energy wisely and really make that known to people that, and not just projectors, all types, your energy is precious and we're working for other people and we're living somebody else's dream, and the society is crumbling. It's breaking down. That's a huge, huge tenet in human design, the mutation. We're going through a physical mutation, and I'm sure a lot of you have felt it or heard about it, whether people are saying it's because of the COVID shot or whatever, but it is affecting our reproductive capacity because the entire program is what we call it, all the stars and the planets and everything that imprints us, the program is breaking down. So with the program breaking down, and it's really affecting the gate 55 and the 49, really affecting histidine. That's the amino acid that it's affecting. And it's causing reproductive issues. It's causing colon cancer, autism, because there's a mutation happening, but life still has to go on until that mutation happens. Therefore, we get to hold the traits that are a failed mutation, according to Ra, because the mutation, the beings that are coming that can hold this mutation in the way that it's intended to are not yet here. So our bodies weren't really built for the mutation to work the way it's supposed to. So it turns out like autism or reproductive issues or colon cancer is the main things that we're seeing with this break in the 19 and 49. And it's amazing to live in this time and to see the changes. And people are waking up that the authorities, the doctors, they don't know. I'm not saying all of them, but a lot of them, they don't know what you're talking about. They're not willing to listen, but you're in your body. You know your body the best. You can't outsource what you feel to a doctor if they're not listening to you. It's your body. You know what you feel and you know what is correct. And so if authorities aren't willing to open their minds and listen, and the society is breaking down, what are we gonna do? 2027 is coming really soon, and I don't know if a lot of people are prepared. And what human design does is it puts us in an unshakable position where no matter what is going on in your life, you're going to be able to handle it. And it also puts you in a position to become an authority and heal. It's an awakening tool, and it's also a business tool. You can use your chart for business. And you could see what you can sell, how you can sell out of your openness. And it's really just an amazing system. And so I'll give a little breakdown on the centers, right? So the Hindu Brahman chakra system had 7 centers. Now, this is a little different because according to human design, in 1781, when Uranus was found, that's when the projectors came as well. But we turned from 7-center to 9-center beings. The 7-centered beings only had 7 centers, and it was all about strategic planning, the era of industrialization and all that. It brought great things, but now we are moving into a higher consciousness, and it's pretty obvious that that's happening. So I think everybody needs to catch up with what's going on. So with that mutation, what happened was, instead of just having the 7 chakra centers, what we have now is we have the root center still, that's on the bottom square. It's your adrenaline, fuel, it's drive. It's a pressure center, and it's a motor. So it's a very strong energy. Then on the left side of the chart is the spleen. The spleen is not just the physical spleen, but it's also the entire body. It's like little noses and little mouths throughout your body. It's about instinct and awareness and courage. It's the oldest center, and it's the most primal. Then we have, on the opposite side of the spleen is the solar plexus, and that is the emotional center. The emotional center is also a motor, like the root, and it is also a developing awareness center. So we're developing this emotional, spiritual awareness, and I love it. I'm an emotional projector, so yeah. And then, right above the root, in between the sacral, the sacral is what I'm talking about. So the sacral is the one right above the root, and that's all about life force energy. The generators and manifesting generators will be the only ones to have that defined, but that is also 70% of the population. They are the builders of the world, and they have that sacral energy that it's like a battery, and it just keeps going and going until they are worn out and exhausted. And the sacral center is also a motor. It's a very strong motor. Then above that, we have the identity center, which is also called the G center. It's the center for love, identity, and direction. It's also like our higher self, and it's part of our heart, but it also governs the liver. Like most of the gates in there are about the liver. Now we have the ego, or the will center, which is the red tiny triangle, or if yours is might be white, but it only has 4. It's a very complex center. It's the heart, it's the ego, it's the willpower, it's a motor, but it's not a motor like that's always on, like the sacral or the emotional. It's like, do I have the will to do this, or do I not have the will to do this? Then we have the throat center, which is the brown square above the identity center. And that is about manifestation, communication, and it's correlated to the thyroid. Oh, and the emotional center, by the way, is correlated to the dorsal ganglia, the nervous system, and solar plexus. Solar plexus is related to the nervous system, And the sacral is related to the reproductive organs. And like I said, the root is the adrenaline, the drive, the fuel, related to different things like that. So then, yeah, the throat center we did. Okay, then there's the ajna center above the throat, which is the center for conceptualizing how we make sense out of things. And above that, we have the head center, which is also a pressure center, very much like the root. And it's, yeah, the head pressure to think and be right. And if you're undefined, you have to let that go. But these centers, what I'm trying to get at is these centers are very powerful hubs that kind of distribute information. And all of this is really about sensory capacity, like the truth of reality, like coming from the quantum physics point of view and cosmology point of view. It's our sensory capacity, which in human design is known as tone. That's a very deep level. I'll get into that probably in a few years when I've made enough videos to explain the foundations. So yeah, I think that's all I want to say today. I also want to just touch on some other things that you might hear in human design, such as like no choice. Now, what no choice means is that you do not have a choice of what physical body you are going to be born into. What your aura mechanics, that's what this information is, your aura mechanics. You don't have choice about what meat suit you're dropped into and what mechanics you have. It's no choice. It's not about, oh, you don't have choice of what you're gonna do. It's not, we're not talking about personality here. This is a form principle. This is something that I really want to take home, because Ra Uruhu received this knowledge as form principle knowledge. It does have the astrology, absolutely. However, the 88 degrees before, the red side, that is your body. It is your form. It's your subconscious. So we have no choice of what form we get put in or we get called into in this life. And all we can do is be ourselves and continue to grow and get better. And this, like I said, it's an awakening tool, and it's also a business tool. And it just expands your awareness. It expands your potential. You live in your gifts, and the world takes care of you. When you're in alignment, the outside is in alignment with you as well. Yeah, I guess that's all I'm really gonna say in this video. I feel like I want to say more, but I'm not really sure. I wish I had somebody here asking me questions or something. So yeah. All right. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Have a good night.